A few things improve fitness, discipline, and confidence like martial arts. My personal favorite, karate, the way of the empty hand. Nothing matches the joy of being better than you were yesterday, the thrill that comes from committing, and the glorious finesse of kata. If this interests you, come on this journey with us as we speak to one of the best senseis in Nigeria to learn about what it's like to run a dojo in Nigeria as part of our new series, Wow, I Built This.
Welcome to another episode. I'll let him introduce himself.
Okay, my name is Ibrahim Muse. I run a karate dojo, DOJO KAIZEN in VI. I also have a regular job. What else do you want to know?
You basically are in the right part.
Okay.
So tell us about the karate dojo you run.
Well, some say we're one of the biggest dojos in VI. We have quite a respectable number. About 50 students right now, which is not bad in the scheme of things. So we try. We try.
Okay. So I think most people will know what karate is, or we can't assume that everybody knows what karate is. So if you can just then talk about what karate is and all of that, I would know because I've done it, but other people.
It's a martial art from the Orient. It's a Japanese martial art. Karate, we like to think of it as empty hand combat. No weapons. And everything from perfection, self-preservation, self-improvement. It's a sport, so self-development. All the good things that you can think of comes with developing yourself physically, mentally. Some will even say emotionally. You understand? You have all those benefits in karate. We run like a school system, so we're a network of dojos. A dojo is a place where karate is practiced. So we're a network of dojos, and we belong to the Nigerian Association of Physical Karate, NAST, headed by Sensei Alfredo Himen. And we try very hard to deliver our service promise to our students, call them customers.
Okay, so I think before we go on, I have to ask the question that everybody that hasn't done karate before asks first. So I do karate, will I be able to beat people?
No, I mean, on the surface, it sounds like a very simple question. But obviously, karate is for self-defense.
Yeah.
We will equip you to handle delicate situations. But off the top of my head, first thing I always tell people is the best form of self-defense is avoidance. So read the situation and get out as soon as you feel threatened by anything.
That was exactly what Mr. Miyagi said in Karate Kid too. If I came to your class now, right, what can I expect? So and just take us through what I can expect to learn. Just talk about what my experience would look like if I came here now.
Okay, so if you came to the dojo, so the first question is who is coming to the dojo?
Yeah.
So we have classes from children to adults.
Yeah.
My own motto for my dojo is that karate is for all ages. So from 6 and under to 60 and above, everybody can come in. Obviously, the needs and requirements of the different spectrum of people, will differ. So, for example, children, most parents, they like the discipline aspects, for kids. By the time you're going into the pre-teenage years, into the teenage years, you're talking, you now have to factor in bullying, and you find that the children are better equipped to handle such situations. You go into early adulthood, and most of the children that come in that category, they are more competition inclined, and they want to go for tournaments and win medals and laurels and all of that. In everything, so let's go further. So the working class people, a safe atmosphere where they can express themselves and have a bit of social interaction after work, some stress relief and all of that. So everybody has something to gain in
Yeah.
the dojo. You can be rest assured that you come to the dojo, you will get a good workout. And you will learn some skill. You will learn technique. You would be put into some pretty physically challenging situations, which is good for improvement. Nothing worthwhile,
Comes easy. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you mentioned competition.
Yeah.
So basically, I assume karate is like every sport, right? So there's going to be competitions, there's winners, there's losers.
Yeah.
Can you speak to what the competition scene is like? So I imagine there's a Nigerian circuit, there's a global circuit as well, and for the ultra ambitious people who, when you start something, you see yourself being world champion. What's that part like?
Okay, so it's whatever you put in that you get out of it. Some people don't want to compete. They don't want to be world champions. They just want to live healthy and, just do good karate, and they're fine with it. If you want to take it up the next level, then you have to go through the circuits. So there are competitions around the states, in the Southwest region, the national region, the West African region, the African, and then the world. So obviously you have to climb the ladder. So you can't just say, oh, I'm very good, I've been training for 5 years, and you're going to a world championship. It doesn't work like that. So you have to earn your place. So you'll prepare for it. You'll go for tournaments. You would win. You will be spotted and invited to national team, where you'll be trained differently, because now the specialization is
Competition.
It's competition oriented.
No longer.
So it's no longer just
the art form.
Yeah, training for good form. So you run the ropes like that. Now there, in sports karate, there are like 3 different aspects. Some are competitors in kata, that's form, and some are in kumite, that's pure
Actual
fighting. And then some are officials. So if you're of the mind, there's always something for you to do, whether you are going as an athlete or going as an official. There's always something to do. So it's a whole community. It's a different type of community within the karate world for sports.
Nice. So tell me, have you been in competitions?
Yes, I mean, we often recommend it for participants. Whichever stage you are in your karate journey, there's room for you to express yourself through competition. Yes.
So what's your most memorable competition moment?
Most memorable, so many of them.
Tell us the one where you dropped somebody and the one where you got dropped.
Okay. I remember one tournament we had. It was a small tournament. A long time ago. I was struggling. It was kumite. I was fighting, and I was losing 3-1. It was point system. So the person scores you, they award them the points, and then it was pure fighting. I was losing 3-1, and we broke where the referee would say stop, and they was trying to call us back in. And I turned to my corner, and my friend was like, "Brian, what's wrong with you?" And in that moment, something just sparked in me. And I went back in, and I think I won 5-4 or 4-3. I can't remember. But I climbed very quickly afterward. It was kind of just a light bulb moment.
Is this me?
So at the end of the fight, I went back to my coach, and he was like, "Look, why were you trading points with him? You're so much better. Why did you allow? This was not necessary. Do you know what I saw inside there?" So for me, it was a moment, and going back to training from that point on, it made me realize that no matter how skilled you are, until you put yourself in that situation, you might not appreciate what resolve can do to make you achieve things. So and that goes into every sphere of life or society. So it's almost always not how much you have in your arsenal, but how much resolve you have to achieve what you want to achieve. So that was a good moment for me. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the most memorable moments where you dropped somebody.
Yes.
Okay. So where's the or
The one where
or
I got
you're undropped.
No. It's a process.
Yeah.
You will lose, you will win. So I remember it was both of these were for fights. Kata, for some reason, I had a very good run doing kata, so I never really had problems. But Kumite, there was one time we're competing, and I just had a flash, I wanted to do a combination. Meanwhile, I didn't appreciate the opponent I was up against, and I just went on my own. And he gave me one horrible kick. Boom! And it wasn't so much of the kick, but how it affected me mentally, because I couldn't do anything from that point. He had boxed me into a corner mentally, and I found it very difficult to take myself out of that point. And I was just frozen. The onlookers will not see it.
Yeah.
Only the experienced fighters will appreciate what was happening. But it was at that point I realized that, I have a lot of work to do on myself. So I think competitions, they're a very, very good way, into self-discovery, especially in your karate world. For children, we recommend it heavily because they're growing, they're evolving, and putting them in situations like that. There's so many experiences that come out of it. Some kids, they learn how to deal with losing, which is a serious life lesson. Some kids they learn how to be humble in victory. You understand? Because you know that, look, I might have won this one, yes, but it was a lucky break.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So there's so many things that come
out of
it. So it's highly recommended.
I think full disclosure, I also do karate, right? I think one of the things I took from it was I think the resolve to continue pushing. Because I remember there'll be times where we'll do kata over and over again.
Yes.
And then you'll be after you just did one and it looked like last time, there'll be one more, and this one has to be the best one. And then in your mind, my legs are shaking, I can't go anymore.
Yeah.
And then you still find a way to outdo the one you did before. And I think in real life practice, it shows in sense of at times when
tenacity.
I think I just got through something, and then the one more from me, and it's
how
do you do this? And you just remember that you just have to just put yourself there and show up and give it 100%, and something will come out.
Yeah.
And I think I see it in myself, I see it in other people, because I've met a few other people that did karate when they were younger, and I see the same thing, and I know this is where it came from. It's pushing when you're tired, pushing when your body doesn't want to come to training.
Just keep going.
Just keep going and showing up, and
Eventually.
you'll be impressed with yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I may ask, what's it like starting out in karate? Let's start from that.
As in how I started in karate?
Yeah, how you started, yeah.
Well, I had a classic interest in karate. My karate interest came from Bruce Lee.
Okay.
Yeah, so in those days, Bruce Lee, the Chinese movies actually, they were I'm talking the 80s now. They were the in thing then. Everybody was crazy about them. And as kids, we would watch the movies, go outside and take a branch of a tree and then fighting, And we'd do it for long hours and, be happy with ourselves, feeling so good. So I got to secondary school, and it was a private school, and two guys came and they wanted to introduce karate. So immediately I remember the Chinese movies, and I said, yes,
this is what I'm doing.
This is what I'm doing. I was lucky enough, my dad was in full support, and that's how we started. We would go to National Stadium at that time, and we'll train children. I was 12 years old, and then we'll train hard on tarred roads. National Stadium, nothing
fancy.
Nothing
air
fancy.
conditioning.
Yeah, no air conditioning, nothing like that. We'll run, and it's still, even till today, it's the same, the facility is still the same. And we'll do everything together. And because we're big kids, as it were, we're not pee-wee children, we're not full-grown adults, we're in between. So they used to push us with the adults, and you better wake up quick Otherwise, you get some, you get some. It's part of it. It's part of you. You learn very really fast in that way, and I think that's where all of that came from. And it's just that, just keep going. Before you realize it, your life goes on, and then karate will build as well.
Yeah. Okay, so you started in secondary school.
Yeah.
And then, so after secondary school, did you do it in university?
Okay, so this is it. I started in JSS 1.
Okay.
By SS 2, I think. Yeah, by SS 2, I got my black belt. So after that, I took a break because of school, WAEC, and all of that. And then at that time, we had ASU strike just after WAEC. So after WAEC and JAM, so there was a long break. You know this thing about continuity, once you break it. So I had like 2-3 years, where I didn't
train
at all. And then by the time university came, I remember I was just staying in the house one day. I saw my belt. It was the green belt I saw. I was like, man, this thing, I just tied it. And I was like, man, this thing is still there. Yeah, so I now checked my wardrobe again, saw my brown belts, and I tied it. I was like, this thing. So I got to school, and we're just talking, my friend and I said, there's some karate people over there. I said, okay, let's go. We now went there, and that was it. I was like, I used to do this thing before. Say, you, how? I said, I used to train now. I said, yeah, come now. And you know how it is now, young adults, everybody's heady. And then they pushed me to go and fight the brown belts. And I held my own with them. I was like, this boy is not bad. Not bad. And I went around all of them. And everything just came because it's a skill that you're learning.
Yes.
So it never really leaves you. You understand? So, and everything was just coming back to me. And I was moving, I was moving very, very well. And at some point, they were like, this guy
is actually good.
He really knows his onions. And that was how, I got back to training. So from then on, I went back to go and look for my coach at that time, and that's it. And then I think in university, you know how school can be, because it's very transient. Every it's like 4 or 5 years, and then everybody has gone, and the new set comes in. So I think at that time, the black belts were towards their final year. I was a black belt in 100 level. So I had 5 years in the school as a black belt, and those ones had gone. So it was now left to me to now start teaching the newer guys, the new guys. So I had to build a dojo. I pretty much had to teach people so I could train with them. So, and that's how, we built the class. And yeah, it was nice because now I could meet people that I would ordinarily not have met if not for karate. Yeah.
Okay. So now let's talk about how the business side of it started.
Okay.
So when did you start having like a proper, this is a dojo, and when did this start becoming a business?
So my sensei Alfred, there was a period where we're all black belts and we all used to just train. So like I said, from school, because I went to OAU, Ife.
Okay.
So from school, I'll come back to Lagos and then I'll join my sensei and we'll all train. And then it now became a case of all of us were all black belts just training. At that time, we're all competition oriented. It was national festival, from festival to All Africa Games and the likes. So after that period, there was this thing about, look, we need to start teaching. We need to start getting people. So it was a call from my sensei to all of us to go out and teach people. Just go out and teach. And his mentality was, look, give of yourself, you understand, to people. It wasn't a business venture, no. It was a call to share the love, you understand? And that's how it started. So it didn't start out for me as a business. It was something I wanted to do, just to give back, as it were.
Yeah.
Obviously, with every venture, it comes with costs, and then at some point you'll be like, okay, look, so now I've started working. I can't be using my salary to
fund this.
Okay, so let's find something small to use to augment the cost of this. And then over time, it just took a life of its own. And then you just find out that, I can actually make money from this thing. And then you now start looking at, okay, what's the fair pricing model that I can use to make it more worthwhile. And that's how it started, really.
Okay. So if I was going to set up my karate business now, what are the first things I need to do?
So karate is different in the sense that you're trading intellectual property, if I may use the word.
Okay.
So it's not something you just walk in to do. You have to have skill. You have to have developed the skill. On average, if you are diligent, it will take you 4 or 5 years to become a black belt. Then you need competition experience because it's not just kicking and punching. You need to go around
and
apply, understand,
and go through things.
Go through a few things. So, but in between, you can teach. You only need plain floor space. That's all. It doesn't have to be in AC, matted floor. No.
Yeah.
There are very big dojos that, like I said, we started in National Stadium. It's just plain matted, plain tarred road. It could be as basic as that. You understand? I mean, I remember you used to teach in the car park, Yeah, and that's it. But the content that you're delivering is what sets you apart from the others. If you can give good content that, if you're teaching children, parents will be comfortable with you. If you're teaching working class people, they can identify what you're saying.
Yeah.
Then you'll be fine. In terms of pricing, you have to decide, what pricing models will work for you.
Yeah. Okay, so can you speak to like how growth happened? Like how did it grow? Like
every age is different.
Yeah.
I remember in the beginning, we never even paid for karate classes. And when we got into the dojo, the place was full, behind. behind. And it used to spread with word of mouth. I'm going to this place. And then, are you serious? And then somebody comes in. They come in and they get stuck and then they invite their friends. So it just spreads out from there. This age is different. This is social media age.
Yeah.
So you create content on Instagram, Facebook, ads, and all of that. But what I found, nothing beats referrals.
Yeah.
The people that come to your dojo, what they say about you is what makes the dojo grow. You can do all the marketing you want. The person that comes in, the first time they come to your dojo, what is the quality of the experience that they are given? And every time, what guarantee do they have every time they come to your dojo that this is the experience that they're going to get? If you want, you can guarantee it every time they come. Then you have something to build on. The dojos don't run by itself; they run by humans.
Yeah.
So if you say it is 8 o'clock this time and you're not there by 7:45, that dojo is going to die a natural death.
Yeah, definitely, because I think that's even how I found karate as well. Like my friend was doing it and I came in as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so this obviously nothing happens without its own challenges.
Yeah.
So if you can just speak to some of the challenges you faced, challenges you face day to day doing this, and challenges somebody who is trying to do something similar can expect to face.
So the first challenge that you find, especially for us, is space. Finding space. As simple as it seems, getting space can be a problem. Depending on which segment of society you want to cater to.
Mm-hmm.
If you are in VI Ikoyi area, for example, they will charge you an arm and in fact, you won't have any limbs left. They finish charging for space.
Yeah.
So being able to price your classes well so that you can pay yourself and then pay, the facility people, becomes an issue. Recruiting is also a challenge.
Yeah.
Because it's a business now, so staffing is a problem.
Yeah.
It's like every business. So some people, sometimes, I'm right now, we've gotten it right in the quality of hands that we have to help us, but it wasn't always the case. But it helped that I could step in on every sphere of the business to plug all the holes. So staffing is a challenge. And only because you can't replicate people quickly.
Yeah, the churn rate can be great because you need 4 years to get the person ready.
And then there's also loyalty. that student instructor relationship, is also there and everything. But you get by as long as, like I said, if that tenacity is there, eventually it evolves. One of the things that my sensei always advises is, look, always make sure that the dojo as a whole is giving back to society. So there will be those clients that will pay for the services, and you will now go and look for those people that cannot pay, and then you will fund their training. You understand? So that way you can, over time, help people evolve, and they can also, as a consequence, help your business.
True.
So you have a pool of talents that you can also draw from over time. Yeah.
Okay. So how would you say you've been? So you spoke to some of it, right? On, for example, how you're able to get around some of these challenges as well. But would you say that do you have any solutions like in mind that you think you've used that's really worked? And also this could be, technology solutions, non-technology solutions, or in general, like what do you think the approach to solving recruitment should be? What do you think the approach to finding space should be? Like what's your trick?
I think it has to do with you as a person. Like, see, if you think of music, as an industry, the different genres of music, right? And everyone has their crowd. It's the same way as individuals, we're different, but we all have our crowd. So how people resonate with me as an instructor will be different from how they resonate with someone else.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean that we won't all be successful. So the same way, the kind of relationships that you will have developed that allows you to do some things as a person, it's not necessarily universal. So there was a lady that came in class today, and it's a fair lady, and she came, and I told her that, you're the reason we're in our location today. And she smiled and she said, oh yes, it's true. Funny enough, I've not seen her in about 13 years?
13?
Yeah. But what happened, she came, we were training somewhere else, and she just made the introduction to the owner of the space that we're using presently.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and that was it. And the guy, called me. He did an interview just to be sure that, I had my head screwed on. And he says, oh, you seem like a good guy. Why not? Come in. Meanwhile, the person that did the introduction, she's long gone.
She doesn't remember it.
She doesn't even remember it. And then I found good favor and rapport with this person. So my story would not necessarily be a cross-board type of thing. Over time, I've realized that if you're resolute in that unity of purpose, sincerity of purpose, eventually things tend to just
things will find a way to align.
Yes, and it's real. It's real.
So I think the next part of this would be us telling you what we're building and how that can impact what you're doing as well. So we're building tools for people that do things like what you're doing, freelancers, service providers, artisans. And obviously, this is what we're starting with. The idea is to continuously keep a chain of relationship with the people we want to build for, so that you can say, okay, this is what I need.
If you'd like to see more interesting content like this, like, share, and subscribe, or follow us on our other social media pages at Workstedi _ for Twitter, at Workstedi for Instagram, or go to our website at www.workstedi.com.